Okay, so we're going to be moving on to some mind mapping programs. I'm going to be demonstrating in this research skills webinar one particular mind mapping program called Xmind. There are a number of programs out there, but this is the one that I'm using. And in fact, you'll notice it because I've done this webinar series using this mind mapping software. So I hope that you enjoy this webinar. Thanks for watching. There are a number of mind mapping programs out there, and they, like all things, they depend on what operating system you use, whether you're using Mac or PC or maybe even Linux. There are many free options out there. There are some programs like the one that I'm using, which this webinar was built on. Xmind. There's a free option. There is an intermediate option as well as a top shelf option. There are other mind mapping programs like MindJet Mind Manager, which is both a PC and a Mac option. They are usually a bit more expensive. There's FreeMind as well, but I'm using Xmind, and I want to briefly introduce some of the main functions of most mind mapping programs. Now, some mind mapping programs don't have all these functions. You'll see that this particular mind mapping program has got a presentation mode, which allows me to get my ideas down, but then I can change the background to black and I can use this as a presentation. So it's a great way to get your ideas down. Now, some people have a very organized brain. I don't happen to have a particularly well organized brain. And so I personally find it very helpful to have everything written down on a piece of paper. But for me, a Word document, whether it's all in one line, is difficult for me to organise. It's far easier for me to be seeing things as they develop in my mind. So one of the main programs, one of the main purposes for using a mind mapping program is a way of getting your mind onto a map and to see your ideas. If you've done a introduction to creative writing and an introduction to academic writing, you will have all presumably been informed of the importance of getting your ideas out, of free writing, of brainstorming. And this is something which often involves a mind map. But to do this in an analog way, to be writing down on a piece of paper, requires you to then take the next step of typing these out, and a mind mapping program simplifies this tremendously. And so one of the main functions of a mind mapping program is the ability to export outlines to drafts. And so why don't we go out of this, and why don't I open a new mind mapping program, a new mind map, and why don't I start a new map? And I'm going to be talking about, today was, I've just been listening to a podcast on the presidential debate, and it was, oh, that's spelled wrong. I don't know about you, but I find it very difficult to type that I know someone is watching. And so it was on September the 27th, and the people involved were Hillary Clinton and Donald Trump. Donald Trump, and some of the advantages, the prizes that he got were won, and Hillary scored well on scored well on this, that, and scored badly on these issues. So what I can do is I can go here and I can export this as an outline. I'm going to just say I want this as an RTF. Let's do a Word document, and I go next, and I'll go finish. I'm going to show and I'm going to open this in Word, and so I've got the mind map here. Let me do this. I'll go to 2 pages. I've got the mind map here, and it is automatically formatted headings, heading 1 and subheadings. Because it's done that, it's automatically generated a table of contents. So I can click on this and it will take me to that. Okay, so this is a very, very common function of most mind mapping programs, to produce outlines that can be exported. When we talk about Microsoft Word, I'll talk to you a bit about the importance of using these headings and using the viewing, the document map function, when you have a large document where you are going through tens of pages, maybe hundreds of pages. You can go to the different headings and generate these. But there's another use of mind maps, and arguably for me, this is the most important use. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take you to a writing project. So I've got a file here called Academic Writing, and I've got, let me take you to rewrites, and I'm in the process of rewriting a chapter of a book looking at the issue of language. And so I've got a mind map in this folder here, and what you'll see is in this folder I have this mind map, and this mind map has got links to the folder where I got this from. In this mind map I have pulled in, I've done this, I've gone here, I'm going to do this again, and I'm going to pull this over, and I'm going to, you will see that I've chosen my academic library. Let me close that. So I have here got my mind map, and you can see that there is some extra reading that I would like to do. And so what I did was I just split my screen with my academic library on the right hand side and my mind map on the left hand side, and then I pull this into here, and then I let it go, and then it's going to ask me a question: do I want to link it or do I want to copy it? Now if I want to link a document, then it is not embedded in the map. If I want to copy a document into the mind map, then it is linked. So I always just choose the link. So that allows me to do this. It allows me, I'm wanting to work on this. This is my file, and I can just go here and I can say, well, I really want to read more of that PDF. If I have made notes on some of these, you'll see that I've got a PDF there. Language, ethnicity and religion, a complex and persistent link. And I've got a note written on that, so I'm going to copy, I'm going to open that document, and there you go. I've got notes already written on this article. So here is the PDF. It's by Borman, and there is Borman up there. So there is the PDF, and here is the notes that I've written on it. And you'll notice that in the notes I've got my EndNote library. So I can see that this is from page 2, this is from page 1, and so when I eventually export all this, I just need to format the bibliography, and the EndNote references will be turned into a working bibliography. So there are some, in my opinion, second-rate strategies for pulling together notes and PDFs that you are using in specific writing projects. So I've got a writing project, I've got things that I'm reading, notes that I've taken, but what are these insufficient or inadequate? Well, let's go back to some other activities. I will go to presentation mode, and I'll do that, and let's just go back to where we were. Give me a minute. This is a way for us to reviewing some of the points that I've made. We can pull EndNote references into a mind map. We can pull ebooks into a mind map. We can pull notes into a mind map. Now there are other alternatives. If you are working on a project, what you can do is you can do a project folder. So in your filing system, you open a folder and then you put PDFs and notes into that folder. So what is the problem with that? Well, the problem is this, is that just as you only have one copy of a book on your bookshelf, and every time you want to know what you've read, you go back to the bookshelf and you see what you've highlighted, what notes you've made. In the same way, if I'm developing my ideas around how I can use a book, then I really must always just have one copy of this book. You could do shortcuts. You could go to a PDF or a note, and you could make an alias or do a shortcut for that note and put it into a file folder. But this is very, very time consuming. So in Windows we use shortcuts, and in Mac we use aliases. Okay, so let's just review some of the things that I've said about mind mapping. Mind mapping works well for some people, not so well for others. Some people have a very linear, very organized, methodical approach to study. Other people are more creative. People like myself have greatly benefited from being able to put all of my ideas onto one page, which allows me to pull them in to groups and subgroups. I can change the color of things, I can bracket things, as you can see here. This is for some people, a very powerful way to interact with their ideas. So this is a great way for getting ideas out. It's a great way for getting outlines organized. It's a great way. You're also able to export mind maps, outlines in a mind map into a Word document, as I demonstrated. You're able to also use mind maps as a project management tool by pulling EndNote references, ebooks and notes and ideas and emails even into a mind map. And so when I want to know about this project, I go to the mind map rather than a folder. This is better than many, many alternatives. So, as is always the case, and I'm repeating myself, I know, the functions of these mind maps are many and varied, and they are customizable. And I warmly recommend you to download some trial versions, and you will see in the link below that I've got some links to some books about mind maps. So thanks for listening, and I hope you can join us next time.